Hola, my name is Luis Hernandez. I am a Spanish teacher, and today I'm going to talk about the GCSE exam requirements. This year is the first year that we have the new curriculum, the new requirements for exams in general, and it seems to be a bit of confusion of what we have to do. So I want to clarify these requirements. This year the exam has 4 parts: listening, speaking, reading and writing, and it's 25% of each section is 25% of the exam, so they are equally important. And they're all exams. In the old days, there used to be assessments, the writing and the speaking, but this year are all exams. Okay, so we're going to start with the listening. What is expected from you? It's expected for you to understand and respond to different types of communications. So you listen to a tape and you need to respond with questions. The questions will be in English, so you need to answer in English, and also the questions will be in Spanish and you need to answer in Spanish. Okay, also in both sections, if the questions are in English, you might have something called non-verbal. And if the question is in Spanish, you also have non-verbal. What does that mean? That means that you have to tick a box or put a letter on the correct box, etc. Very important. If the question is in English, you must answer in English. If the question is in Spanish, you must answer in Spanish. Otherwise, they won't count. Okay? The written exam for the higher tier is 45 minutes. 50 marks for the higher tier, and you'll have 5 minutes of reading time, more or less. Okay. The second part of the exam will be speaking. What is required? You need to communicate and interact effectively in different types of speeches and for different purposes. The exam for the higher tier is 10 to 12 minutes plus preparation time. Okay, is 60 marks for both foundation and higher tier, and again 25% of the whole GCSE. So you have a role play, which is 15 marks and it lasts about 2 minutes, the higher tier. So the role play will be interacting with the examiner or the teacher. The role play, you have a few questions about the topic, and then a surprise question and a question that you have to formulate. Okay, you have some preparation time for the role play apart from the surprise question that you wouldn't know. Okay, then you got a photo card. 15 marks. The photo card has 3 questions. The first question is always the same: what can you see on the photo card? And then other 2 questions that you will be able to prepare within the topic, and then another 2 questions that you haven't prepared for them. And then there is another section of general conversation, 30 marks, and it's 5 to 7 minutes. So that will be anything within the course, anything. The examiner or the teacher can ask you anything within the curriculum. It should be like a conversation. So I always recommend to say "and you," "y tú," when they ask you a question. So it seems more like a conversation. Okay. The next section is reading. Paper 3, reading. What is expected of you, what is assessed, is understanding and responding to different types of written language. Okay, so you need to understand what you read, basically. Okay, 45 minutes for the foundation tier and 1 hour for the higher tier. 60 marks for both tiers, 25% of the GCSE exam, as we discussed before. 3 sections. Section A, the questions will be in English, so answer in English. or no verbal, ticking boxes or putting letters on the right box. Section B, questions in Spanish to be answered in Spanish, answer in Spanish, or no verbal, ticking boxes again or putting the right letter on the right box. And then section C is a translation from Spanish to English. It's about 35 words foundation and 50 words in the higher tier. Now, English is your native language, so when you translate from Spanish to English, when you read your translation in English, if it doesn't make sense, if some of the translation doesn't make sense, it's probably wrong. Read it again and think how you would say in proper English. Sometimes when you do translations, you can come up with something that it doesn't sound quite right. So we need to check that. Okay. Writing. What is expected from you to communicate effectively in writing form of a few forms, a few varieties of purposes. The writing exam is 1 hour and 15 minutes for higher tier. 60 marks for the higher tier, 25% of the whole GCSE. You got 3 questions. Question 1 is a structure writing tags. So you have 4 points, 4 bullet points, and you have to answer to those four bullet points within a topic, and you expected to write about 90 words. The other question, the second question, is an open-ended writing task. You are expected to write 150 words of 2 bullet points, and that will be 32 marks. The first question is 16 marks, by the way. Question 3, another translation. This time is English to Spanish, a little bit harder. But if you check your grammar and your vocabulary, you should be okay. That is 12 marks. Okay, so these are the requirements for the GCSE Spanish exam. I will do more videos like this. I hope this helps. I will do more videos about tips and about grammar and things that it can help you to go through the exam, to pass the exam. Okay. Thank you for listening and good luck.